Hello, ma'am. I think we should start the session.
Yes. Um, a warm
Okay, ma'am.
welcome
I'll,
to
I'll
all
start
the
the session.
a warm welcome
Sorry,
to
ma'am.
all the participants, students. Of course, this is by Developers Club, KIT's College of Engineering, Kolhapur. All the credit goes to my dear students of Developers Club, KIT's College of Engineering. I'm really very thankful to Kshitij Sangar, Bhagyesh Rangole, Dhanraj Savan, Pranav Patil as well, Shailesh Mohite, Aditya Velhal, and Prathamesh Patil. The ideas for this has come from their side, and it's really going to be a very helpful session for you all. Um, of course, it is going to be useful. You will be making a good career with the help of after learning what are the various aspects, important platforms to study the things from. So without wasting much of the time, I'm just requesting Kshitij Sankar to just start with the session. Okay, Kshitij, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm starting the session.
Still students are joining. Let
Am I
them,
clear?
yeah. Yeah, we will start. Yeah.
Uh, okay. Aditya,
Wait,
please
I'll start with
keep
the
a track on
recording
the
part.
participants list, and if there are any queries in the chat box. Yes, ma'am. Please start the recording.
Yeah.
Okay, Kshitij, okay.
Yes, Aditya. Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, guys. First session. First of all, welcome to all that you have shown interest in this topic. It is quite weird or really out of track for most people because you have seen a lot of sessions or events that are related to technical stuff that are teaching you something C++ language or Python language or any other development technologies, but you haven't seen something like this before, I guess so. So the topic is tech stuff, which I knew these things in first year. So let's talk about this gradually as we move on into this session. First of all, we'll just check out the content. Okay. So content of this session. Very first thing, we'll talk about the motive of this session. Why we chose to have a session on this. Why do we want to conduct a session on this? Then we'll move on to the programs to participate in. You must have seen various logos on the poster, right? You must be attracted to it, right? So we'll talk about the programs that you must participate right from the first year and the things that we are unaware up till now. Then we'll move on to the technical demands, what and where to learn. So in this section, we'll talk about the development part, like app development, web development, what are the new trends, and we'll talk about those few selected topics that we think are quite helpful for you. We'll not leave you at a choice that you can choose any of this. We'll just give you a pinpointed answer for that. And it's not that we are suggesting you a lot of technologies. So it's something that we feel is correct for you. It's totally up to you. And the last thing of this session would be the competitive programming. Why it's important? You must have heard about it, but let's look at a few details of competitive programming and why you should learn it. And at the end, we'll conclude this session. So let's move on. the motive of this session. One second. So for the first time, when you read about the topic, when you got to know about the text or the registration link, you must be confused, right? What is this topic? Why someone would conduct a session on this, right? So the thing is that most of the team members in the committee have been a part of a lot of things. Few are really good at development. Few are doing a lot of stuff in computer programming, and few are doing different stuff in various programs like Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, Google Cloud Ready program, or any ambassador program that is currently out there present. So the motive of this session is that the most of the people that are currently, there are various students in this meeting actually, not only KIT, but other students too. So what happens is that all these programs and all this stuff is realized, or you are aware of this thing once you are in third year, or let's say final year, because I have seen such cases. They are totally unaware of these things, and they quite regret knowing these things at the last moment. So the motive of the session is that you must know these things and you must start working on it right from the first year, because there's no limitation or there's no restrictions. The only thing is that you should be a student. So let's move on to the next part. This part, I'll just explain you the various programs. So these are the various companies or tech giants, I would say, which conducts a lot of sessions, a lot of what do we say, events in a year for the students and for the development of the students, right? They conduct various competitions and all, but I will talk about the ambassadors part or community building part of these companies. So the first thing that I will show you is the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors program. It is a program that was launched by Microsoft, and in this program, you get to partner with the Microsoft community. You get to interact with the global community that is currently out there. You get to interact with the software developers, cloud engineers in the Microsoft. You get to attend monthly meetings that are conducted by them, and various competitions that they organize for you. So let's look at the plus point of being a Microsoft Student Ambassador. The very first thing you get to get is the subscription and credit, which is $150 monthly credit that you will get. It is not obviously a cash credit. It is obviously a digital credit that you get. So you must have heard about cloud, right? So various tech giants have their own cloud. Like Google has its Google Cloud, Microsoft has its Azure cloud development, and Amazon has its AWS platform. So for Azure platform, what Microsoft does is that it gives $150 monthly credit to all the student partners. So you get to test various programs, various projects, and you get to, partner with all the people that are present all over the globe. Then it's the global community that you get to interact with, because we are always playing around in the college stuff, right? Our class, a couple of few friends that are present in the college, but we are totally unaware about what people are actually building, what people are actually doing at the age of 17, 18, or 19. So here you get to communicate with those people. In this program, you get a free exam voucher for global certification of Microsoft, that is Azure Fundamentals. So you can after studying various of the cloud, and that's really fun. And obviously, they send goodies to you as a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, depending on few criteria. You can see on the right side that this is a screenshot of a goodie that actually I get. I'm currently a Microsoft Student Ambassador. Yes, Aditya?
Some are saying that you are not audible to them, but
I'm
I
not
can hear
audible?
you clearly. Yes, I can hear you.
Guys,
I
can you
think
please,
the issues on
yeah, Aditya, please check out the chat. Guys, please give a thumbs up if you are audible, if I'm audible to you, clearly audible. Okay, for those who are unable to hear me, please check your internet, guys.
Yes, yes, you are of course audible. Maybe some net connectivity issues on
Yeah,
some of the
there
participants'
should be a
side.
network connection.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, sure. So let's move on to the next part. Thank you for letting me know, Aditya. Okay, so I was talking about goodies, right? So you can see the screenshot that I've added into this presentation. I'm currently a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. I'm a beta level of Microsoft Student Ambassador. So you can see the goodies they send. and we'll share you the PPT link in the description at the end of the session. And the links are already embedded in this text. Like I will just show you with links. The links are already embedded in this text. You simply have to right click and check out the links when we share it. But I've already opened the links. I will show you the registration page. So guys, if you want to be a part of this program, the only limitation is that you should be a student and you must have the required skills. And don't freak out. Even I was not sure if, whether I would get selected in this program. But yeah, and there's no limitation for the number of student ambassadors that should be present in a college. There can be 10, 15. There's no limitation that only one student ambassador can be get a part of this program in single college. So the link is already present in the PPT. You can see at the down in the notes section too, I have added the links. You can check it out after the session. And on this page, there's the application form. Click on the apply and there are various personal details you have to enter. I won't get into this personally. You can check it out on YouTube if you want. And once you are selected in this program, they give you a student ambassador's account and you can create your own profile. So you can see this is my profile for a Microsoft Learns Ambassador program. I have IDs and various impactful things I've done and my profile. So if you want, you can check it out later on. This was just for your understanding and interests. Okay. So let's head on to the presentation again. Okay, so we were at the goodies, right? So the next program that we have here is the Google Developer Students Club lead. So you can see the goodies at the right. They send to only the leads of the Developers Club. Currently, that we are part of is a Developers Club, KIT-COAK, which is not an official, what do we say, inheritance of this club. But this year we were unable to get this club in our college. But we expect that a few of the students from you get this club in the next year. Oh my God. Just hold for a second. I just stopped the presentation. Sorry for that. Okay, is it visible now?
Not yet, but it shows the message starting to share content.
Okay, there's some issue on the internet issue from my side, I guess.
Kshitish, you can do one thing. You can send it to me. I'll share it from my side. Or you can send it to Aditya.
Okay, Kshitij, let me share the screen. You stop.
Yeah, the Cisco is showing some error from a lot of minutes.
Yeah. Aditya, you share.
You can share from your side, please. Yes.
Is it visible, Kshitij?
Yes, it is visible. You can continue, Aditya or Kshitish, anyone.
Kshitij, go ahead.
Hello? Yeah. You're presenting the screen, right, Aditya? Or shall I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, if you have any questions regarding what I'm sharing or what I'm telling you, please drop a question in the chat box. One of my team members will let me know. Or he can answer you in the chat directly. Okay.
Kshitij, is the screen visible to you?
Wait, I guess it's not. Let's wait for a minute. No, it's not. Yeah, it's visible now. Great. Okay. And just click on the links when I tell you. The links are embedded. Okay. Hello.
Aditya, he is telling you to click on the links.
Hello, Aditya.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, not now, not now. I will just tell you, then click on the links. Okay.
okay.
Just go back to the presentation, please.
Just a second.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the Google Developer Students Club, right? So I was
Okay,
telling you,
sorry,
previous club-
sorry for stopping you in between. There is one just question. What pre-skills
Yes.
must I have from Pawan Pawar?
Regarding Microsoft Learn's ambassador, right? Yeah, I guess so. It's related to that. So in that program, you should be, what do we say, hungry enough to learn new technologies, and you should be good at what you are. Just have a few of the projects that in your hand, so that you can get a better chance of getting selected in this program. When I got selected in this program, I didn't have enough amount of projects actually, but I don't know. Actually, I guess they like the way I presented, because in the registration form they ask you to record a 5 minutes video of yourself on the topic that they already mentioned on the registration page. So just make a video for 5 minutes and upload it. In that video, it's not required that you should have cool stuff around you. Like you will get to around a lot of videos on YouTube that they have a PC, they have something on background, some funky stuff and all. That actually doesn't matter. Just have a good amount, a nice amount of communication skills, and try to convince them that you are a worthy participant of this program. That's it. That's all it takes. Because after all, this program is meant to make you understand new technologies. Not It's not expected that you should know everything. I hope it's clear. Just drop a thumbs up. Okay, by the time he replies, yeah, I guess I got the thumbs up. Yeah. So let's move on to the developers club part. So guys, every college can have the Google Developer Students Club. Even our college, that is KID's college, had developers club in last year, that is 2019. But in 2020, unfortunately, we didn't got this club in our college. So we had a different club named Developers Club that we are having a session into. So in the next year, in the next developers club, I expect few of the students from you to be the lead. For that club, only one lead can be there can be only one lead from one college, right? So if all of you participate, only one of you will get to be a lead of developers club, but remaining participants can join him and be the club members of the committee. Okay. So you get to be the lead. You can conduct various program workshops. You can take over various local projects if you want. Obviously, not paid projects, but you have to work along with your teammates. It is a global community too. You get to interact with various people all around India. And in both of the programs, Microsoft Learn Ambassadors and Developers Club, actually before pandemic, they used to conduct various physical event, yearly event, we can say, or a get together, we can say. For Microsoft, I guess it was conducted in Delhi, and for Google Developers Club, it was conducted in Goa previously, but due to pandemic, everything is going online. So it's fun. Next, please, Aditya. Okay, so please pay attention for these guys. The last date to apply for this Developers Club student lead is 20th April, that is tomorrow. So I expect all of you just go on that page and start registering. Can you please open that page, Aditya?
The AWS Educate Student Ambassador
No,
Program.
no, Google Developer Students Club.
Okay, let's.
That you already opened on the right. DSC lead, yeah.
This one, right?
Okay. Yes, exactly. So guys, when you go on this page, you have to just apply that registration form. Can you please click on apply, Aditya? There's a one important point in the registration. Just make sure. You just have to sign in before registering it. You don't have to sign in if you don't have an account, Aditya. Don't worry, guys. So when you sign into your account and go for the registration page, there's one nomination code that you have to enter. But actually, but there's a condition that only if the club already exists in your college, you have to enter the code. But we unfortunately don't have, so you can skip that part and start applying. That's the only part I want to tell. Go back to the presentation, please, Aditya.
Okay, there is one question where we get all these links.
Yeah, we'll be sharing the PPT link to you in the chat box. You can directly view it. You can get the links directly. Okay, so be in the session until it ends, or we can share it right now. Just hold for a minute. I will just share you the link right away. Okay. Chat. Okay, here's the link. Aditya, can you please copy paste the link that is present in the first slide? I'm
Okay.
unable to paste
The
it.
Google Developer Club, right?
No, go to the first slide of this presentation. First slide of this presentation. Very first slide. And in the down below, you can see the link in the notes section.
Yeah.
And guys, when you're referring this PPT, do check out the notes section too. We have added a lot of links to it there. Just share it in the meeting. Okay,
So
guys,
the
you have
link
got the
is shared
link.
in the
This is a
chat.
viewer link. Yeah, please check the link out and save it for yourself for later references. Okay, let's go back to the part and let's have a look at the next part. Go back. Okay, guys. So the last part, don't go back, Aditya, let it be. So in the last part, we have the AWS Educate Student Ambassadors Program. It is by Amazon. In this ambassadors program too, you will get a hands-on experience. You will get the promotional credits by Amazon directly. You will get quarterly AWS Tech Talks with Q&A sessions, and obviously, all these three programs send you the certificates directly from the companies itself. So you can be a part of it. It's totally free, and you get tons and tons of practical knowledge other than that you are learning in the college itself. And click on the link. I guess you have opened it. It's just the link. You have to register. You can check out the criteria for that page if you want. The criteria is that you should be a student and you should be a educate partner or something. Just scroll down a bit. Scroll down a bit. Just some more. Okay, you can check out the frequently asked questions. In that, they mention that you have to be a AWS Educate partner. That is that's nothing else. You just have to join the Educate partner. You have to just sign it up, and you are a partner of AWS Educate, and you can start applying to this ambassadors program. You can check out how you can apply on internet. I will not go into the details. Just be aware of these programs. Thank you, Aditya. Go back to the presentation, please. Next slide. Okay, start presentation. Okay, so the next we have here is the Google Summer of Codes. You must have heard about it or may not have. Google Summer of Codes is a, what do we say? It's kind of an internship, we can say, where you get to have an open source project. You can make open source contributions to the organizations. It is a 10-week program which is conducted in your summer holidays. And what it has, the procedure is that when this program starts, you have to create a proposal to your desired company that is listed on their page. You have to apply that company, and and if they like your proposal, they will select it and they will assign you a mentor. And in that mentorship program, you have to complete one project in the span of 10 years. That will be totally built by you. And if you successfully build it, you actually complete what do we say, an internship kind of thing with that company, and you will get a cash price of about $1,500, which is the minimum cash price. Because we are in India, it's the minimum price. The minimum price is 1,500. It can range up to $2,000 after this program if you win it. In this case, you will get the practical industrial knowledge and you will get the skills enhancement that you want. And guys, I'm telling you this program, please don't freak out if you are totally unaware of these things. Just remember the names. And when you feel that I'm totally comfortable looking at these things, you can look it out. At least be aware. It shouldn't happen that you are in third year or final year and you get to know at that point. And the last point is the hackathons. Please don't yeah, exactly, I said don't freak out at this thing. It's nothing totally out of this world. It's totally easy, I would say. is just building projects in a day or a days. You have built a couple of projects in the PBL, right? You got 3 to 4 months, I guess, so to build the project. But in a hackathon, what happens is that you will get a span of 24 hours or 48 hours. And depending on the, what do we say? They will give you domains that, let's say, medical domain. They will give you the domain and you have to build any project into that domain within that 24 or 48 hours of span. It goes on continuously. You can work for 12 hours, 15 hours, whenever you want, and you can complete it. And it's not, and it's definitely not hacking, because most of the people ask these silly questions. And don't underestimate yourself. Even if you are a beginner at web development or app development or any other stuff, just go and participate in the hackathon, because you get to know a lot of people who knows how to work in hackathon and how to manage stuff. And you don't have to worry if you don't know anything. Just be a part of the team. Just experience it at least once. Even 3 of the team members currently in this meeting have participated. Me, Shailesh, and Prathamesh had participated once in a hackathon last year and got selected in the top 20 teams all over the India. And we weren't that much skilled at that time. So just think of it. Next slide, please. Yeah, exactly. You will get the tons of practical knowledge too. So these were a few couple of programs that I would like to share against you. So just consider this and stay tuned. Next part will be handled by my friend Bhagesh. Bhagesh, please.
Yes, Siddhi, thank you.
Yeah.
Just a second, Bhagesh. There is one question.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Will I get a referral
Will I
from
get this?
Google if I win the GSOC, Google's Summer of Course?
No, actually, it's not. But they can consider you to be a what do we say, strong candidate, I would say, because if you just enter that you are, let's say you are on LinkedIn, and if you mention that you were in GSOC and you have completed GSOC 100%, then definitely will get a lot of DMs by various companies to join them too. And it's a really nice opportunity for you. So it's how it works. Am I clear? Cheers. Yes. And if you have any doubts, you can drop in the chat box. I will answer. Just give a short thumbs up if you don't have any doubts. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Just drop in the chat box. I will be there.
Okay, Siddhi, thank you.
Yes, Bhagesh. Yes,
Okay,
Bhagesh.
am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, Bhagesh.
Okay, fine. Okay, guys, myself Bhagesh Rangole, and I am from the TYCAC, KIT COK. Now, I will explain which technology you should learn when you are in the first year, or which technology you should have to learn. Okay, when you are starting career in IT. Okay, now we have just divided this technology in the two parts. The first part is the development part, and the another part is the deployment part. Okay, we will discuss it later. Now, first part is the development part. Now we include the web development in this development part, and again another one is the app development by using the Flutter. And in the deployment part, we have included Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud as a cloud platforms. They are leading cloud platforms technology. So we are including this. Now, just talking about the web development. Next slide. Next slide.
Just a sec. There is one question. Is it useful only for CSC students or other branches?
No, it is very useful for other branches also.
If you are into coding or you want to future in computer science or in an IT field, then this session will be helpful to you also, other branches also. It is not necessary that you must belong from CSC. If you
CSC
want to
and
gain knowledge, this session can be helpful for you. I hope I resolved your question. Give a thumbs up. Just give a thumbs up. Okay.
okay. Okay, next slide, please, Aditya. Okay, Now we are starting with the web development. Then now in your mind there is a question, why web development? It is 2021 and still it is used in a web development, that is industry still use the web development. Then the simply answer is yes. Okay, because industry needs again the web development in a large scale, right? It is in demand technology always like it is before. Okay, so and it is also easy to learn technology. If you focus on the basis of the web technology, then you will get definitely good to know that it is very helpful and it is very in demand technology. So you can kick off your career in the web technology also. Okay, it is also the good options for your career. Okay, it is okay. Now if we are students right now, yes, so it is put a good impact on a company when you are appearing for the campus jobs. And also if you have done the web development in your academics period, then then it would be very helpful for you to appear to the company, and it is just providing the good impact or putting the good impact on the company. And after that, if you know the web development, some basics of the web development, then you can just start your own business. That typically I
Just a
am
second, Bhagesh.
particularly I am okay. Okay.
There is one question, how this session is useful for ENTC branch. So I would like to tell that most of the ENTC students, when they are going for the placement, the companies that they will face are mostly IT-based companies. So there is very few companies who are core companies in ENTC. And if you are interested in IT field, then this session will be helpful for you.
Yes, yes, guys.
We can go forward.
Guys,
Okay.
shall I add one point? So guys,
Yes,
most
yes.
of you are asking that we are from XYZ department and whether this will be helpful or not. So guys, make sure that almost most of the what we say departments are we'll say 20 to 30% dependent on softwares nowadays. So it's not the case that mechanical engineer will only work on the mechanics, or ENTC department student will only work on the ENTC stuff. So wherever you go, there will always be a software interface. Please get adapted to what these technologies are. We don't expect you to learn everything, but a few stuffs like the programs or cloud development, all these are going to be the fundamentals for you when you work ahead. Because the time have changed, departments are not going to work the way it used to work previously. Thanks, guys. Bhagesh, you can continue.
Yes, yes, actually. Okay, now talking about the web development, okay, there are some basic technologies you should focus on. Okay, right? There is a typically this session is focusing on the basics, not on the advanced. If you know the basics, then you can definitely go to the advanced technology. But we are just telling you that just focus on the basics and basics. And what are these basic technologies? That the first one is the simple our HTML. Okay, then again it is the CSS, that is styling cascading styling sheets, and another language is the JS. And for styling and other stuff we can use the Bootstrap. Again for the backend purpose we can use the PHP and Django. Okay, now many of you know this technology and many of you maybe not, but it is very simple technologies and are very basic technologies. If you start to career in a web development or to start something type of development, then it is very going to helpful for us. Now how to start these things, how to start to learning those languages or learning those technologies. Next point, Aditya. Okay, now the simple answer is the read the documentation. Okay, each and every technology which company is introducing to they have some their documentations. Okay, that company are building those technologies, so that technology are very good familiar to those companies. So they have made their own documentation, and if we read their documentation, then we can definitely clear our doubts that how this technology is going to work and how this technology is how we can embed those technologies into certain our projects. Now I will share one link with you, that is the W3 schools site. I will share the link, my colleagues are share the links with you, and it is very going to helpful for learning the HTML, basics of the HTML, basics of the CSS, basics of the JS, basics of the Bootstrap, basics of the PHP, etc. Now, again, for the Django technology, you can just go to the Django documentation and learn from that. Okay, they are having the levels from basic to advanced. Okay, here is the W3 school site, and there is a section wise learning, that is HTML and CSS. Then we can learn some basics of the HTML, basics of the Java, basics of the PHP, etc. So there is all the coding stuff is there. You just have to practice, you just have to read the stuff, and you just have to practice that stuff. Okay, go back to the slide. Aditya. Okay, now the third tip or my advice is that you must have to do basic learning. Okay, not just read the theory and nothing do practical. This is not going to helpful for us, for you. Okay, you just have to grab one project. You just went to, okay, for example, take a scenario. You have some grocery store near you. Then what you have to do, just go to that grocery store and ask them for a website, or ask them for a app development if you want to develop for app. Okay, and ask them for a website and app for a free. Okay, if you are saying the free, because in the starting phase we just have to do the things in a free. Okay, even I have my small company known as JB Software, and I have done so many clients including the KIT COK itself. So whenever when I was I have started my web development in the third year, diploma third year. Then at that time I just go to the shops, or goes to the businessman, and ask them for a website or something like that, and for a free, and they are just agree to that. And I have getting the knowledge, okay, how the business model works, how I must have to approach them, and something like that. This is all going to helpful for you to if you are doing a development or something like that. So my advice is that to just do your project based learning. It is very helpful. Okay, next one please. Hello Aditya. First of all, Aditya, just show them our website JB Software, then they are familiar with us. Okay, guys, here our website, my small company known as JB Software, and this is me, the founder of the JB Software, and this is my colleague Aditya Vella, which is the co-founder of the JB Software. And this is our services and something like stuff. Aditya, just show them the clients we have done. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, this is some websites or some clients which have done, okay, in our web development career. This is the KIT COK Virtual Lab website, because we are the core team members of the also KIT Virtual Lab, and we have done some sites for our clients, and this is the official sites. So guys, this technology is still in use, and we are making so many money of it. So it is not just a web development is old technology and why we have to learn these things and something like that. Just don't think like that. Okay, this is very good technology, and this is very simple technology. If you focus on the basics, then you will definitely get to know what is the industry and what is the web development career and etc. So it is very good opportunity for you to start the web development in the early phase. So you can definitely go to the advanced technologies like Django and something like that. Okay, previous slide, Aditya. Okay, now talking about the second technology in this session, that is app development, and app development by using the Flutter. Now, many of you don't know the Flutter, what is the Flutter technology and something like that. I just review the Flutter technology. Now, first question is what is Flutter, right? Aditya, next point. Okay, now the point is what is Flutter? It is the open source UI software development kit created by the Google. Okay, it is a creator of this technology is the Google. Okay, and it is used to develop applications for Android, iOS, Linux, Mac, Windows, and web also. So the and from web also. So we can just create all the platforms apps from this technology. Okay, now, why to use Flutter? Okay, it is very simple technology created by the Google, and it is a cross-platform tool or toolkit. What is mean by the cross-platform? That is, if you are a developer, if you have a write code, okay, in Flutter, then that code, our code that will be run on the various platforms. Like it is runnable on the Android, it is runnable on the iOS, it is runnable on the web, it is runnable on the Microsoft, and it is runnable on so many platforms. So it is very good technology, and if you start this technology in the early phase, then it is definitely going to help you for in your future. Now why Flutter to use? Because it is in demand technology. This is introduced by the Google in recently. Okay, now many companies are developing their apps or their platforms by using the Flutter technology. Okay, so it is the in-demand technology. So why companies are need the Flutter developers, or why they need the Flutter technology? Because at it is I have known that in the our industry, okay, there is a limited time and limited budget for any project, right? So company have to just reduce the time to develop that project, and company have to put that project in the budget. So Flutter is a very good technology and very good option to achieve this. Okay, that for example we can say that if we have developed one app, something food runner type app, and we must have to it must have to be running on the Android devices also, and it is must be run on the iOS devices also. So in the previous industry, what they are developing the app in the Java for the Android, or the Kotlin in the Android, and they are same building the app in by the Swift technology, okay, which are used for iOS app development. But it is not needed. Okay, there is no need of two technologies used to be built for a one app. So we can just use the Flutter, and the app will be run on our iOS device also and our Android device also. So it is very cool technology. Okay, now how to start? Okay, the answer is the read documentation. Documentation is very important, and they have no very and it is a very good source to learn from the documentation, because documentations are consist of the levels, that is basic, medium, advanced. So it is very good approach to just go to the documentation and read the documentation. Now this is the Flutter documentation, and you can see that there is a one sections like that: get started, sample and tutorials, development. So we can just read the documentation, practice that documentation, and put the practicals on that applications. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Hello. Okay,
Yes, you're
okay.
audible. Abhi and
Okay.
Bhavesh.
Now another platform, or another platform to learn the Flutter is the YouTube. Simply because the Flutter community have their own channel on the YouTube. So, and they have their videos for the Flutter technology. They are teaching their Flutter technology from the basics to advanced for our students. So you can also refer that. We will share a link with you for that. Okay, now again, my opinion is that doing the project-based learning, just grab one problem statement in the industry or in the current scenario, and just think about that, how we can solve that problem, okay, by using the app or by using the website or something like that. So project-based learning is very good approach to learn any technology. Okay, now next slide, Aditya.
Just a second, Bhagesh. I
Okay,
will
okay,
want to add something into it. Some of
okay,
you are
okay,
asking questions that let me just read one.
okay.
Okay, most of us are not yet familiar with C language. Do these deployment courses have a prerequisite of C language or any other skill? So C is a very basic language. I'm sure that you will learn it now since you are in a first year. you'll get to know it better. And you need C language to understand the concept of programming, right? You are not going to use as much as C that you are going to learn. You're definitely going to use some other languages like Python, C++, Java, or if you are into Android development, you will use Java or Kotlin. So it is not a big, don't freak out right now that you don't know C, and we are telling you to about these technologies. This session will let you know that these technology exist, and you can have a career in it also. And there is also question, what are the differences in Kotlin and Flutter? Kotlin is a language, while Flutter is a technology. Okay, Kotlin is a language used for Android development, while Flutter is a development tool or a technology which can be used for developing applications for iOS as well as Android. And is there any question? Okay, so one question is, which programming language should be useful for job and also for careers? So there is no such thing that each company requires a different language for their survival. Like right now, Infosys is using Java and Python. Bentley is using C++ and Java. So it will change up to company wise. You should be better at understanding the concept. Language is just about syntax. If you know the syntax, then it is not much of big deal. If you understand the concepts like OOPS concept, object oriented programming, and other stuff, then languages is just a name. Okay, you have to just change your syntax according to the language. The logic will always remain the same. Okay, is there any program for learning hardware things? uh, I think this is it is not part of this session, but you will find it on the YouTube as well.
Yeah, but we can, I
Okay,
guess, give you the contacts where who can guide you
yeah.
through that section.
I guess you can continue.
Yeah,
Okay,
Bhagyesh,
Aditya.
continue, please.
Okay, okay. Next one, please, Aditya. Aditya, next one, please. Okay. Now we just have to we have talked about the app development and web development. Okay, now we are focusing on the Google Cloud and the Microsoft Azure, which is the deployment technologies. Okay, deployment in the sense, okay, if you have developed one app, then that app must be runnable on some servers or something like that. Okay, so deployment technology, these are the deployment technologies. And first one is the Google Cloud. Okay, now many of you don't know the Google Cloud, but it is we are using that Google Cloud services from our childhood, we can say. Okay, now first of all, what is the Google Cloud? Okay, it is the cloud based platform. Okay, it is suite of Google Cloud computing services that runs on the same infrastructure uses internally by the Google for its end user, that means us. Okay, such as Google search and YouTube's and mails, Gmails, Google search, we can say Google Photos. Okay, now what is the Google Cloud platform? Google offering us that infrastructure to us to develop our or to develop and deploy our apps. Okay, in their infrastructure. So whatever the resources that YouTube uses, okay, currently, now whatever the servers YouTube uses, okay, that servers and that infrastructure is Google offering to us, okay, for our app development or for our deployment of that app. Okay, so it is very cool technology, I can say. And okay, you can use all this infrastructure to use your to use or to build your own application. Okay, now why Google Cloud? Why Google Cloud is very important? Because we have always depended on the Google right now, because if you have to check the internet connection, then we are going to the google.com and check whether the connection is connected or not. So it is the very reliable platform, we can say. Okay, it is very cheapest platform to offering the services like the at a very on the cheap price. They are offering their services. Okay, now all these services are divided into three parts. Okay, the first part is the compute, second part is the storage, and the third part is the machine learning and AI of the Googles. Okay, the first part, what is the compute part? Okay, this product, okay, whatever the services, whatever the services are in the compute part are used to deploy code to the cloud. Okay, that means that if we write code for our application or something like that for any development, any web development or any app development, then we just have to deploy our code to the Google Cloud. Okay, this is the compute part. Now, what is the storage part? Okay, whatever the data we are using for our app, whatever the data which are fetching in our app or through our app, so it is used to store there, retrieve there, and query of data and query the data of our own application. Okay, on the Google Cloud. Okay, now the third part is the ML and AI. Okay, Google allows to use their machine learning and artificial intelligence technologies to improve our app. Okay, so whatever our app is deployed on the Google Cloud can use the machine learning and AI platforms of the Google's. Okay, so it allows to leverage Google's AI for our own application, right? So this is all about Google Cloud. Now, how to start the Google Cloud or how to start the learning those technology? Then my simple answer is that the Quick Labs. Okay, Quick Labs is the platforms that offering the some lab-based quiz. Okay, so you just have to register there. Wait a second, site is loading. Okay, now this is the Quick Lab site. Okay, you just have to join. You just have to join there, and they are offering their services to us. But these are, I think, free account. I have created one account, but it is in my PC. It is not there. There, this is the
Bhagesh,
learning. Huh.
can I interrupt you for a second?
Okay, okay, Siddhish.
Okay, guys, how many of you are registered for Google Cloud Ready program? Just give a thumbs up. Or have you heard about it? Yes, I guess so. Okay, so most of you are aware of Quick Labs then. So you won't feel an alien technology or something like that. Okay. So Bhagesh, most of them
Oh,
are quite aware of what GCR is and what Quick Labs is.
okay,
So it's going to be
okay.
really helpful for them.
Yes, 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 definitely.
Exactly. You can continue. Thanks, guys.
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. Okay, now another platform is the Google based lab. It is also offering by the Quick Labs. Okay, you just have to go there, register there, and they are giving us the quiz for doing it. Okay, we just have to complete their labs. We just have to complete their labs, complete their task, and from that we can learn many things. Okay, these are the some of the quiz that is Google Cloud Essentials, which includes the basics of the Google Clouds, how to start the Google Clouds, and again the create and manage cloud resources that I already told that cloud have many resources. So in this quiz you can check that which are the all the resources of the Google Cloud and how to use them. Okay, so it is going to be very useful for if you follow these Quick Labs and Google self-paced lab. And again I can say the cloud documentation because I believe that documentation can get documentation is very helpful. It is going to be very helpful if we want to learn something technology from the basics. And this is also Google Cloud is also offering their documentation, and it is a section-wise documentation. So it is very going to helpful for you to learn the basics of the Google Cloud. Okay, Aditya, come to the slide. Okay, this is all about the Google Cloud. If you have any doubts, then just let us know about the Google Cloud or about the Flutter, about the web development.
Guys, drop a question if you have any doubts, or we'll just move on to the next part. Any doubts
Yes.
about Google Cloud or something? I guess so. There aren't. We'll let you know if there's a message in the chat box. Bhagesh.
Okay. Okay. Now the next part is the Microsoft Azure, or the next technology or the next deployment technology is the Microsoft Azure. Now, first of all, I will introduce you the Microsoft Azure. What is the Microsoft Azure? It is the cloud platform again for building, deploying, and managing services and applications which we are creating or which Microsoft is offering. Okay, Azure provides an ever-expanding array of products and services designed to meet all of your needs through one convenient, easy to manage platform. Okay, it is one platform for as I say that it is used for building, it is used for deploying, and it is used for managing our own applications. Now there are many and more services which Microsoft Azure offers. Okay, some of these are virtual machines, SQL databases, application and services. Again, it is offering the storage for us and many more. Such types of services Microsoft Azure is offering to us. Now, why Microsoft Azure? Why it is important to learn the Microsoft Azure in the early phase? Okay, okay. With Azure certification standard, okay, which Azure certification student have chance to get a job in cloud computing industry, leading cloud computing industry. That is, we can say Microsoft, Amazon, AWS, or Google Cloud Platform also. Okay, with Azure certifications, you may qualify for several roles in the technology field. For example, solution architect, okay, developer, cloud architect, etc. Okay, it is provide job assurance. Okay, if you know the basics of the Microsoft Azure, and it is presented in your resume that it put a good impact on the company. It put a good impact on the company. So it is very helpful for you to get a how to start. Okay, how to start will be explained by the Kshitish.
Yes, Bhagesh, I will take over from
Yes.
here. Hello, guys. So, first of all, you might be thinking that why are all these technologies taught to you? Like, what is cloud? You don't know what cloud is, first of all, most of you, and you must feel that all these technologies are alien to us. But guys, make it clear that first and second year is the phase where you get to experiment with a lot of technologies. You get a lot of time to invest in these technologies or to work along with these technologies. In third year, few of you or most of you will be in any technical core team of the college. So you will be involved in those events, or you will be involved in any internship program that will you be a part of. So you won't get that much time in third year or fourth year. You just don't think about fourth year, because fourth year is a totally what do we say, like nothing for you. You can't learn almost anything. You are totally involved in projects and all. So make everything and try various new things in your first and second year. So talking about Microsoft Azure, you can look at the Azure documentation. Aditya, can you please check that Azure documentation page? If you feel that documentation is not your kind of stuff, you can definitely go for YouTube. There are tons and tons of tutorials out there who can teach you. So on this documentations page, you can see there are a few technologies that are listed below. What you can do is you can directly search the technology that you want to certify yourself. You can search, let's say, Azure Fundamentals exam. Don't freak out. This is just an exam to get yourself certified. That's it. If you don't, I will just show you the profile link. Can we just go back to the presentation, Aditya? Aditya, am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Please
Okay,
open
which
the
slide you? Yeah.
yeah. On this slide, please open that 900 and notes section. I have added one link. Open that too, please.
Azure fundamentals.
Yeah, Azure Fundamentals. I guess there is some delay on my side. I'm not able to see the changes. Hello?
Yeah.
Aditya, I guess
Kshitij, you're
the
audible.
screen is froze. Okay.
Are you able to see the screen?
Yes,
Well,
yes.
there's some delay on my side. Uh,
So, guys, this is
okay, guys.
the
Well, I'm not able
exam.
to see the screen. Just
Yeah,
hold for a minute.
I'll continue. Kshitij. Just okay. I'll explain this thing.
Just I guess I'm joined to the yeah, I can see the meeting.
Okay, now
Yeah, I'll
you can
continue.
hear.
Thanks, Aditya.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see the exam on this page. The link is already given in the PPT. So what this exam is it 900 is the exam number, and Azure Fundamentals is the exam name. So you don't have to learn anything out of stuff, or you don't have to get enrolled in any paid courses to give this exam. Actually, I myself gave this exam, and I studied all the stuff from the documentation itself. So I mentioned about Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors before, right? So when you get into that program, you get a free exam voucher for this exam. So you can see it is for 999 USD, or around 3,000 to 4,000 rupees. So I used that voucher and I got cleared, and I cleared this exam. So you don't have to worry about anything. The documentation is totally clean and really understandable. So if you have any doubts, you can contact me for web development and Flutter. You can contact Aditya or Bhagyesh. We'll add the contacts at the end of the slide later on. Can you please open the next link, please, Aditya? That is in the notes section.
Which one? Okay. Profile link.
On the PPT. Yeah, in the link. Yeah, profile link. Guys, the link, documentation link is already given to you. On the documentation page, you just have to search AZ900, which is the very first introductory exam for Microsoft Azure. So you can see on the screen is the certification that I got. This is the global certification link. You can see on the top, the badge was issued to me on 26 February 2021. So this is the badge that you get. This is the, can we highlight the name? I guess they may not be able to see on the top. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Aditya? Okay, so you can see this is the digital link to verify your certification. This is how you will get to if you qualify the exam, and it's not that hard. Don't worry, guys. If you need any guidance or anything, you can contact me easily on LinkedIn through. Move back to the slide, please. Thank you, Aditya.
Okay. Just a sec. Should I go to next slide?
Yeah. Move to the slide. So this is the link, guys. This is the Azure documentation link and exam link. Once you get in the various programs, you will get to learn those things. Don't worry about it. So the next part is the competitive programming, which will be handled by Aditya and Prathamesh. Over to you guys.
Okay. Thank you, Kshitij and Bhagyesh, for your great explanation. So, guys, here we are with the competitive programming. Myself, Aditya Vella, I will tell you about some basic and why competitive programming is important. Okay. So, first, we will start with what is competitive programming. It is also known as a mind sports because what competitive programming is all about solving a problem, okay, real life problem. So, for that, you have to think, and you should train your mind in a such a way that your mind can understand the problem easily and find a solution for it, okay. And the second thing is solving interesting problems too. The competitive programming is all about solving the interesting problems through algorithm, data structure, maths, and logic. And under it has some criteria that you have to solve a particular problem within a specified amount of time and specification. Like they have given you some criteria that your program should not take more than 1 second to execute. You something like that. Okay. So the next one is why do competitive programming? So the first one is good salary. I know we all dreamed of a dream package, something like 40 lakh, 50 lakh, or something more than that. So competitive programming is a way to do that, along with the technologies that are taught to you are also important. But competitive programming is also a very useful tool to get a high paid package. Okay. The next thing is it's a way to publicly demonstrate your skills. So you there are a lot many platforms that we will discuss where you can showcase your competitive programming skills and stuff. The major requirement for competitive programming is about data structure. Like you should know stack, queue, array, linked list, and all the stuff like that. Since you are in a first year, You will not be aware of it as much. As you go to the second year, you will have a subject called data structure where you will learn all these things. But I advise you not only to stuck to that only. You should acquire the skills also from YouTube and all other stuff that are available to you. The next thing is it will makes you faster and more focused. In this way, it is about the way you code will be more faster and more focused. There are a lot of tricks that you can apply while you're programming, which will make your code execute faster and more reliable also. And also, it will help you to improve your logic and problem solving skill. Competitive programming is not a thing that you can learn in one day. You have to do practice, a lot of practice to gain the logic and problem solving skill. Then hands-on implementation of algorithm learned. So since you learn something like stack or queue, there are a lot many uses of it. Okay, we learned it in a way that okay, we want to complete a particular assignment, that's why I'm learning the stack. No, but the actual implementation of a stack can be there are vast possibilities that you can implement a stack. Then lab assignments, as I told you, lab assignments will seem to you like a piece of cake. Once you know the logic for every program, after then, if you understand the concept, okay, you never seen a code about to complete the assignment, but you understand the concept of stack or queue, it will be easy for you to code it without anyone's help. Then habit of writing efficient code. As I told you, you need to optimize your code to run it within a specified amount of time. So if you keep practicing the same thing, you will definitely write some efficient code and make your placement ready. As I told you, everyone has dreamt of a big package. So competitive programming will make you a placement ready for, because most of the companies, if you are talking about the IT sector, will have a test on competitive programming where they will give a problem statement to you, and they will give a particular time and you have to solve it. So if you do practice in competitive programming, then it will be much easier for you to crack that interview or the round. The next thing is common programming languages for competitive programming. Okay, so the first one is C++. Why C++? Because it is a faster executing programming language for competitive programming. Then it also has incredible SQL support, which will give you data structure, different kind of data structure already programmed. There is one library which we can use to use those data structures. And then it is the most preferable language by word. It means who, if you know the CodeShip platform, the six-star coders or the six-star coders or a lot of people use C++ who are very good at their competitive programming skills. Then we have Java. It is a little bit slower than C++, but you can use it for competitive programming. It is also Java also has a great support for competitive programming. Then we have Python. Python. Okay, so if you are learning programming, I will not suggest you go for Python, because Python is something where you cannot learn the object-oriented concept. It is very difficult to learn object-oriented concept in Python because everything that Python gives you is a ready-made kind of thing. So I should suggest that you should go with C and C++ if you want to learn data structures and all this stuff. Because in C, what happens is you get a basic language where you have to do a much more. And in Python, what happens is everything is given to you. You just have to use it. And also Python is very slow in execution time and not preferable for advanced competitive program. So the platforms that are available. Okay, so the HackerRank is there. I think you must have heard of these things before. HackerRank, CodeChef, Codeforces, Geek4Geeks is a great solution for competitive programming. They will give you solutions also, and HackerRank. My personal favorite is CodeChef, since it is widely known to everyone. And there are a few other platforms also like InterviewBit. They have their own series on learning DSA. data structures and algorithm. Also, CodeShape has their own YouTube channel. You can search for it, where they post some learning tutorials about the competitive programming. And then we have how to get started. Okay, so if you want to get started with competitive programming, the first one, learn a programming language. Anyone, anything, C++, Java, Python, anything that will suit you. Then choose a platform to practice questions, like just the platform that I showed. Anything can, from any platform you can choose a question. If you go on the CodeShare, let me just go on the CodeShare. Okay, so there is a one tab, practice and learn, where you can just go to the practice problems by difficulty level. And inside of it, you can find various tabs like beginner, easy, medium, hard, challenge, and peer. So you can start by solving the beginner's problem. For the first time, it may not be very familiar to you. You may find hard to solve a particular problem, but it's okay. With practice, you can solve these problems easily. Let me just present the screen. Then after choosing a problem, gets your hand dirty in the data structure and algorithm. Data structures and algorithm are key to any programmers. Okay, so you must know data structure. It is not necessary, but if you want to have a good salary, then you should know the data structure. Then also, obviously, I told you practice, practice, and practice. And also, there are some contests on CodeShape and other platform also that will you should participate in them. Don't worry about your score. It will get gradually better and better as you practice. Just try to participate in the contest and try to solve at least one problem for the first time. Then you can go on increasing and have fun with the competitive programming world. Then any Q&A now? You can post your question in the chat box. Yeah.
Can I share the screen? If you don't
Yeah.
mind.
Just let me stop my sharing.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay, Kshitiz, now you can.
Yeah, just for a minute. It's visible, right?
Just a sec.
Yes.
Yeah, it's visible, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, I got the thumbs up. Thank you, guys. So guys, just for a minute, in the last point regarding the hackathon, I missed out one point that was quite important. In the hackathons, you can see this link. It's nothing but a search link that I have added. When you just check out on Google itself, hackathons near me, most of the people you think that that where to participate in hackathons. Usually the hackathons are conducted by the colleges around us, but not at a frequent rate. So you can just search for hackathons near me, and you can search. I guess Eventbrite is the best platform that lists down various hackathons all over the world. Just go for that platform, and you will find a list of hackathons. Obviously, those are prize-based hackathons. Just go on to those links and just check out what the details are. You don't have to pay anything. I guess it's free of cost. Just participate and get going with it. So you can see there are these details and the prize money that they offer you. So it's a great amount of learning stuff. So this was a thing I just missed out. And the thing regarding the platforms for competitive programming, these are really great platforms. I would also suggest you InterviewBit. I personally use that. It's a really, what do we say, sorted platform. It gives you various documentations, various videos integrated in it. If you feel, what do we say, uncomfortable on this platform, you can choose that, and you can practice on those platforms too. And there were a few Q&As in the session. I was going to answer. Just for a minute, I will just open it. Chat. Okay, there are a few questions. One was that by Mrunali. You were saying about project-based learning. So actually, I want to know what actually the projects are all about. what the project consists of, what you have to do there. Is it just write a answer code for a particular project? So Mrinali, make it clear that project-based learning is really dependent on you. Means you can build a web application or Android application depending on the requirements. I can't tell you like what exactly the project should be. Means it actually depend on the problem statement. Let's say in this current semester, we are supposed to make an Android application of our choice. It can be anything. It can be a food delivery app. It can be any management app, etc. But for you, you can choose anything. Like you can build a short C++ or a Python program for automating anything, any stuff or anything. It actually depends on you. Is it clear? Or do you want some extra explanation or anything? Just give a thumbs up if you have. Okay. Thank you, Mrunali. Sorry. Yash Patil, top competitive programming languages. There's nothing as such, but we would suggest stick with the basic programming languages, C, CPP, preferably CPP, because almost everywhere CPP is allowed during the campus drive also. But Python, it's quite restrictive in few places, but not much. Even I use Python. I love Python a lot. You can whichever you want, but stick to the basics first. Is it clear? Yes. Just give a thumbs up, guys, if you have understood. And just drop a question in the chat box. Till then, I will just explain you another stuff. Aditya, please look at the chat. Type.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So guys, the first thing that is coming up is the DSE registration. You will get the registration link in this PPT itself. If you want, you can share it with your peers too. The registration link is gonna open. The deadline for this registration is 20th of April. That is tomorrow by night, I guess. So get yourself registered, or we won't get DSE this year. So start registering. There were a few questions, right? I will just open the link right away. DSE registration. Just look at the screen for a while. Yeah, I guess it's open. Okay, so on this page, you can see the details of this program, and you can apply for it. I've, I guess, already signed in for DSE. Just hold for a minute. I will just clear one doubt. Most of the people are DMing me regarding this. Previously you saw that you had to log in before you have to register on this platform. Yesterday I just checked what the details I have to enter. So on this page, when you come, you have to enter your personal details, first name, last name, date of birth, basic details.
Kshitij,
At the end,
the
you can
page
see the
is not
nomination
visible.
code.
Your screen is
Page is
not
not visible.
No, only it's a
Screen is
white.
not visible. I've shared the screen.
I think it is stuck in between.
It is stuck in
Okay, I
between.
will just reshare it. Wait for a while. Yeah, okay.
Kshitij, there was one doubt which has been asked by the students that while adding the institution name, when we enter the KIT, that is not there.
Sorry, ma'am.
So I
You aren't audible.
informed them to add new chapter and add the institute name over there.
Ma'am, you are not audible. I guess there's a lot of disturbance in your voice.
Okay, just wait. Okay, am I
Is it
audible?
visible now?
No.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible now. Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, there was one question from the students who were registering that while adding the institution name, it asks whether existing a Google
Yeah.
Developers Club at your university or college is there or not. Otherwise, if you are having problem
Yes, ma'am.
while adding KIT, just there is one add new chapter is there. You can add a KIT by adding a new chapter over there. Right, Kshitij?
Yes, ma'am. That's what I was going to tell. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. So while registering, as ma'am said, in the college section, you won't find our college there because this year there wasn't any DSC club in our college. You have to click on add chapter and enter the college name itself, and that college will be displayed henceforth until we won't get a DSC. Then that name will be taken off. So make sure you enter a proper KIT college name. So after that, on the registration, find a nomination code. A lot of people are asking about that. So in the if you look at the information for the nomination code, it is already mentioned that if you have a DSC in your college, you have to approach the DSC's lead and will nominate you for that. But we don't have DSC this year. There is no committee and is not the lead. So you can just drop this section. You don't have to enter any code here and enter the rest of the basic details. So make sure college name, add chapter, and nomination code, keep it blank. These are the few instructions. So you can register for that. I guess there are no doubts regarding this. If you have, just ask it. The Q&A section. Are there any questions in the chat box?
No, no.
Just
Right now.
share the link for DSC
You can ask your
lead.
questions in the chat box. So we will be adding the contact at the end of the PPT.
Okay,
Yes,
just
ma'am.
share that particular link of that Google Club DSC registration link in the chat box so that students can register.
Sorry, ma'am.
Just share the link, or shall I share? Developers Club.
You're quite audible. It's audible.
And the link is already in the presentation, and we are going to share the PPT link also.
We have added the
Yeah.
registration link in the PPT itself, and we have shared the PPT with them.
Yeah, here in the chat box, I'm just sharing with that particular link. Whoever wants to register, they can get registered
Exactly.
themselves for DSC lead application. Okay.
Guys, just save the link if you are going to register for that, or if you want, you can get on this PPT section. You will find it in the notes section too, and you can find it in the PPT itself. Links are already embedded for.
Yeah. Yes.
We will
Yes.
add a
students, you
contact.
can
If you have a good contact, we will add the contact at the end. Anything related to cloud? Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yes, students, Kshitish has shared several links for even Amazon AWS as well as Microsoft Azure as well as this Developers Club. You can go through those links as well, which are there available in presentations. Okay.
Yes. And for cloud or anything related to that, like AWS or register for Microsoft MLSA program or GC or any other program, you can contact me. I will add the link in the link at the slides. Anything related to app development, web development, or technologies, you can contact Aditya or Bhagesh, and anything related to competitive. We will add the contact of Prathamesh Patil. He's one of our team members, so you can contact accordingly. Just to have a sorted flow of queries. Do you all guys have any doubts, guys?
Yes, Kshitish, I
If you
have
have, you
received
can.
a query that whether to learn the programming from. Give the list of the websites.
Where to learn what?
Programming from.
Where to learn programming from?
Yes, if you have some resources list or websites list, just tell them.
Yes, guys. Guys, you can see in the sections on the screen that I'm showing you. Wait a second. Bhagesh and Aditya have already explained you various languages and where to learn from, I guess. You can check out the W site, schools, Geeks for Geeks website. All these websites are really great. I personally prefer them. Or if you are not into documentation stuff, directly Google it. There are a lot of courses that they provide you, 6-hour video, 1-hour video. But make sure that you that the video consists of all the basic stuff. If you want, we can add the resources at the end too. Is it clear, guys? Those who asked that question, is it clear? If I have to choose between Google Kickstart and GStock, which one should I choose? Shreyas, both are totally great. But I guess if you have in first year, you can go for Google Kickstart. It's great too. If you want to get sort of experience on it, you can start with it. But every batch has those few people who have been into coding or this stuff from a very long time, so they can go for GSOC too. You can go with it. I guess it's clear. So yes, just give a thumbs up. It would be helpful if you add those resources link in the PPT. Which resources are you talking about, Dhananjay? Okay. Aditya, have you received any queries?
Yes, there is one query from Pawan Pawar that is there any program for learning hardware things?
Yes, I guess we answered that question. Guys, if you want, you can contact any senior member from your department. We are not quite sure about those stuff. We will not misguide you in this section. So sorry for that. Is there programming resources link? Okay, sure, we'll add it at the end or in the third PPT itself. Just check out the PPT later on. Is there any similarity between Google coding and GSOC? I actually don't know. I have to check it whether if there's any similarity or not. You can check out the website if you want. Sorry for that. I haven't explored that section very much. In the first year after learning C and CPP language, what next should we go for? Computer programming or web development or other language? Yes, I would add this point right here. Guys, a computer program is not something you do 24 by 7. Just keep it as your as a what do we say simultaneous thing. Daily you can solve at least one or two computer programming question. Just keep this consistency. So by the end of your what do we say engineering, you will be ready enough to appear for the interviews. And web development and application development, these are the development stuff that actually teaches you what the development is. So do this thing very often. After C and C++, you can, I guess, go for Python because I personally love it and it has a diverse application. You can do web development and any automation stuff in Python. So go for Python, I guess. In
Yes,
last
there
year,
is one
many companies
similar.
are coming to college regarding.
Yes, there is one similar kind of question. Top competitive programming languages. You have answered that, right?
Ma'am, I think
Yeah,
those
yeah.
questions are answered, ma'am. Those
Okay,
questions are
okay,
answered.
fine.
Yeah, ma'am. Okay. May the company to regarding plus specialty sales from the
Okay, most of the questions you have answered. I think
Okay,
program
Ashish.
resources links and any other questions, students, please ask.
Yeah, yes, I've received one by Ashish. In last year, many companies are coming to college regarding placement. For example, TCS. Then students can apply only company related to branch or all branches. You can apply to any company you want, guys. There's no limitation or there's no restriction for that. You just have to be a final year or third year student. That is the only restriction.
Students, companies
Like
are
most of the
mostly
companies do.
looking, yes, Kshitish, I would like to add one point here. Companies are looking for the students who are having the interdisciplinary skills. Means mechanical students should know about the software programming language also, as well as some electronics like IoT background stuff also. Likewise, so mostly companies are looking for those interdisciplinary expertise. Okay.
Yes. Aditya, you can also answer too if you want. I will not. Aditya
I think the
Bhagesh, I hope you are there in the meeting.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah,
pretty
you are
much
there.
clear
Yes,
to all. I think
yes,
you
I guess.
answered it all.
Yes, Munali, we will add the contact. Guys, the co-hosts, I will add a slide at the end. Just enter your LinkedIn ID and your mobile number. They will contact you accordingly.
Okay.
We will add the contact, guys. Don't worry. Keys for campus recruitment. Amol, don't worry about campus recruitment that much. It will only make you stressed. Start working on the project itself. Don't worry about it much. Focus on the skills.
Develop,
Job is something
yeah,
that you will get if you have it. Exactly. Don't
develop
worry
your
about campus
skills
recruitment
and
much.
don't worry about the placement. If you have the
Exactly.
skills, the company will eager to take you as soon as possible.
Yeah. Rather, they will personally approach you directly. You don't have to
Yeah.
approach them if you have the skills. Thank you. Okay, so I hope most of the questions are clear. If the questions are clear, just give a thumbs up, guys. I guess we are receiving it. Yes. Thank you, guys. It was a nice session. It was a nice response from all of you guys. We loved sharing these things with you. Try applying these things and try participating in most of the things that our team members told you. If you have any queries, you can contact us. The contact will be added at the end. And that's all from our side, guys. Thanks a lot. See you in the next session if we have it. Actually, this was the last session of the Developers Club. I hope you will register for this program. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you, Kshitij, Aditya, Prathamesh,
Yes.
Bhagesh.
Guys, you can add
Thanks
a few
for
points if you want.
sharing your
Aditya,
knowledge.
Bhagesh.
Thanks for sharing your
Exactly.
knowledge. Of course, these team members, they are really very talented group of students. Of course, if you register for this, you will be getting a lot of technical knowledge out of it. So do register, okay? And keep participating in next programs as well.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Yes.
Aditya, Bhagesh, if you want, you can add to anything, or we
I
can
think
just end the session.
yeah, we can.
Yeah, Kshitij, we can
Okay.
end this.
Thank you, guys. Yes, thanks a lot, guys. We'll end the session.
Okay.
Thank you.